I'm super excited to dig into some of that, because I can see Candice nodding furiously along with everything you just said there, and so is I. So yeah, I think we've got a lot to cover. So managing up is such a big topic, and I would just initially just wanted to get your thoughts on what you actually think it means. Again, Candice, why don't we start with you? Just in your mind, for assistants, can you just give me some thoughts on what it means to you, and what you think it means for other assistants?
Yep. So I think it's different on different levels and different stages of your career. But for me, it was about fostering a proactive partnership with the executives that I worked with. And it means like not just responding to requests, but actively thinking ahead, providing insights and offering solutions before challenges arose. But I think that also came with confidence. I think having that rapport with these executives, having the skills build throughout my career made me much better at being able to do it. But I think you could always look out for these opportunities to do that, because it's about understanding their strategic vision and translating it into actionable priorities, which everyone can do. But while also like servicing as a sounding board when they need clarity, all those kind of things that you do as a strategic assistant.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Sounding board stuff, obviously. For me, I see it as like anticipating like my exec's needs and making sure that I understand the priorities, being proactive, obviously, and taking initiative. And within that, understanding how they work and how they like to work and how they like to do things. So all of those things that just make it easier for us to work together to achieve those goals that we need to achieve.
I think you both touched on it so perfectly there. And I think because you've both come at it with it kind of different examples, I think it just goes to show how actually wide this topic is and what it entails. It's not one specific thing, but I think we can all agree that doing it as an assistant and doing it well will take you to that next level of being an assistant. And it's something, once you're kind of at a C-suite level, it's something that you really have to think about and apply. So I'm interested to kind of look at one of the points that you made, which was around assessing your executives' needs. Yeah. Because although that's really important, I'm wondering how you get started with that. So Dolores, if you could kind of give us some examples or how you've gone about doing that, because sometimes executives don't even know what they need.
No, and I think that's the beauty of having a really good EA. And it is really difficult because it comes from, obviously, they need to have trust in you. But you also need to, for me, you have to start from a place of knowing what the goal is, knowing what our objectives is. Like me and my exec, we have a weekly, not a weekly, we have a 5-minute catch up every morning. And I will ask her what our objectives are for that day. If it's a Monday, I'll ask what the objectives are for the week. So I can plot out what needs to be done. I'll look at the diary and know exactly what I need to do. And then if I need to speak to direct reports, it just involves so many different elements that you have to bring in to just stay ahead of the game, I guess. And it's never, for me, like if she asks me to do something, I love it when I'm like, yeah, I've done it. I've taken care of it. It's already, because I've been able to think ahead. And it's weird because really the relationship we have, we've been able to build a really good rapport where she trusts me completely. But for so we both basically started together. So the first 3 months we were together. We didn't have a one-to-one. We weren't having like regular one-to-ones or regular catch-ups at all. And then after the first 3 months, we were hacked and we weren't allowed in the office for like 4 months. So we weren't having, during that period, we had one like VC, and it was just a case of, I'm just going to do what I think is right, because she was like dealing with so many other things, trying to get the business up and running. And I think that kind of, although it kind of maybe hindered us a little bit, it also really, really helped because I just think like her. I'm able to think like her. I don't know how, but anyway, I just do.
That's such a really great example, Candice.
Yes. I was just going to say exactly that managing up is about, it involves building trust to the point where they feel comfortable receiving feedback and advice from you. You know, you are their eyes and ears of the business. So having a pulse on things that they don't have a pulse on. Like, it's a real privilege to be able to have that kind of relationship with your exec, because a lot of admins that I talk to don't have that, and it makes it very hard to
It really
manage
does.
that.
Yeah, I work with a couple of people that don't, so they will always have to ask their execs what they want to do.
Yep.
Whereas I never do that. I'm just like, right, I know what she wants. I know how to manage things. And I think that would like hobble me at the knees if I had to ask her every little thing. It just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work for me. But it works for other people. But, you know.
For me, it was also very time wasting. Like,
yeah.
I've always had very limited time with my execs. So by doing a recap at the beginning and the end of the day, so at the end of the day, I would do like a quick recap of this is what's been done. This is still on the table. If you can only do 3 things overnight or in the morning, these are the 3 things. You have to get back to this person on this, or you have to give me an answer on this. And whether they read that in the evening or first thing in the morning, at least I can then crack on with my day until I actually get to speak to them, because I've got answers to things like that. I don't sit around and wait for them to come and then pounce on them when they come. For example, when I work with Kelly Hoppen, she's a creative, and she said to me, I get that you're the business side and you want to pounce on things first thing in the morning, but that's when I'm at my most creative and I need to be in the studio. So we had to come to an agreement that I would get 5 minutes of her time to just get 2 things out of her, and then she would leave her phone with me and she would go be creative. Then we could start our day with on the business side. So it's what works best for you and your executives,
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think that just, in some relationships it comes with time, and some it's, it's kind of innate.
Yeah, and trust's got to be earned.
Yeah. I mean, I was lucky enough in this role. I don't know how. I think it's because, so Anna used to be in this business before, and then she rejoined as a CEO. And then I was a new EA to a CEO. So that's what I mean when I said earlier, we started together. But she trusted me from day one. And I think that's because at the beginning, there was a lack of confidence in being a CEO. So she was relying on me to tell her what to do and how to be, and, this, that, and the other. But now our relationship has changed and evolved because she doesn't need that hand holding, but she does really rely on me for, keeping, because I'm always honest with her. So she knows that my honest opinion, she will get my honest opinion. So she trusts me when it comes to hiring staff or appointing interim people, which is a real privilege. As you said, Candice, it's a real privilege to be in that position. So,
Yep.
yeah.